thank you for joining me today for a surprise process video. Today is Saturday the 10th of February and Hey Little Magpie Chat and Inspiration on Facebook group are holding a Cybercrop. Hey Little Magpie is my shop if you didn't know that, and Amy, one of our design team members, is hosting a Cybercrop for us, and the first challenge went up at 9 o'clock this morning by Sheena, and it was a this or that challenge. So you can see the this or that board at the top of the screen, top left hand side there, and I'm working with 2 photos to start with. These are photos of our trip to New York at New Year, and it was just us at the airport. I'm trying to work my way through all of the photos so that we've got an album of this trip. So I've put together my 49er Market wherever bits and pieces that I took from the shop with my here and there from Simple Stories from last year. They work perfectly together. The colours are just perfect. So from wherever I took the ephemera pack, the acetate pieces and the small laser cuts. I got them in the little pouch that 49er Market have done as a kit, if you like. So if you are in Hey Little Magpie Chat and Inspiration, you will have seen my reel showing the bits inside there. So I took those plus a set of the rub-ons, the Ride rub-ons I think are the ones that I've taken. So I'm just going through the papers and choosing some bits to layer onto these photos. Both of these photos were printed at home. The one of the 3 of them, Ross, James and Amelia, that I'm backing now, is printed 4x6, and then I matted it onto some white cardstock you will have seen. And the one of Amelia and I moved onto my Notes app and then printed it from there on my iPhone, and it printed a little bit smaller. And then I trimmed a bit of the top down, and again I've matted that onto white cardstock. So they're both printed at full size, but just one from the Notes app, which means that you don't lose any of the picture. I hope that makes sense. Gosh, I seem to be waffling. I'm just so excited to have done a video and be voicing it over now and getting it up as soon as I've done it. That doesn't often happen. So I've temporarily misplaced my edge distresser, so I'm just using my little scissors to distress the edges of these papers. And I'm trying to do what I've been doing more often recently. Just the first paper that I come to that works, use that. So the first paper that I used was that one with the destination board on, which I thought was perfect with the flight's arrival or departures board. So I used that as the first mat, and then I had a little piece that I'd cut off, and on the reverse of that there were sort of stamped images of passport stamps and things, so I've used that as a little mat. And then the one with the clouds was just perfect because obviously we're at the airport waiting to take off into the clouds, so that's what I used as the mat on that. On the smaller photo I used one of the pieces from the Wherever ephemera pack. It just worked really nicely. It's a map, so you can't see a lot of it, but I did like the look of that. So here now I've pulled out an old Simple Stories stencil. It might be Echo Park actually, and I'm just creating like a grid behind the photo using my speckled egg ink from Tim Holtz Distress Oxides. I just wanted to create a little bit of mixed media behind the photos. So I'm going in with the grid here. So far from the tic-tac-toe, from the this or that challenge, I've used 2 photos instead of 1, and that's as far as I've got. But I will carry on. So just adding some more mixed media behind this cluster. So there are going to be 2 clusters on the page, both with photos in, the top left and then bottom right. And as I say, I'm using a mixture of those 2 collections, which work so very well together. I've not taken any of the papers from the Wherever collection yet because I've still got plenty of the Here and There papers. So until I've used some more of those up, I just don't need any more at the moment. I'm trying to be conscious of what I'm taking from stock, really. So now onto the stamps from the Here and There collection. I absolutely love these stamps. They're a brilliant set of travel stamps. They'll work really well for any travel layout, so do have a look. We've still got some in the shop in Hey Little Magpie. So I'm just using the aeroplane, and I'm just sticking it to my finger just to add some aeroplanes all over that grid that I've stenciled down. Just tone on tone. When you use a stamp, it comes out darker than when you're blending ink over, so it works really nicely. And then I'm going to use this triangular stamp. It's like a passport stamp, just to add a little bit more texture around. I don't add too many of these, just a few, just dotted about. And it just says travel the world on that one. So a couple at the bottom. Most of these have been covered up actually looking at the final layout, but it's all a process, isn't it? And it all adds to that lovely background. So now just adding a little bit of water just to blend things out, because like I say, I don't want crisp images, and particularly those larger images and the edges of the stenciling. I just wanted to blend out a little bit more. And then I'm going to smear a tiny bit of that ink onto my mixed media mat and add some splatters. So I leave that for a few minutes to dry, and then I roll over some paper towel just to sop up the excess water so that I can carry on working. So there we go, there's the photo. So I've decided I want this mat to butt right up against that left-hand side, but not on the right-hand side. I'm going to leave a little bit of the stenciling showing there. I thought about using my tape runner, but I decided to grab the double-sided tape because I'm worried the card is still a tiny bit damp, and this will grip nicely onto the layout. So just getting that stuck down, and then the other one, and then I can start embellishing. And behind the challenge details, you can just see poking out my little leaf ceramic dish that I use to add bits and pieces I want to use on my layout. And I've just pulled a couple of the foam stickers out from the Here and There collection that I knew I wanted to use. This first one that I'm using in this bottom cluster says the journey starts here. And then this one, let the adventure begin, and then finally, let's fly away. So as I say, we're at Manchester Airport waiting to go get our flight to New York for New Year. Everything went really smoothly. The airport wasn't too busy. The plane was on time, but it was full. So I was really pleased that we managed to pre-book some seats together, because now the kids are 16, they wouldn't have automatically put us together with them. So I still think of them as 5. I still want to sit with them. So I grabbed that little globe from the ephemera pack. Again, just as soon as I come across something that I like the look of, I'm going to use it. And then this is the inside bit of the geotags that are in the ephemera pack. And I just thought these worked really nicely as little add-ons around the page. So just tucking those in. And I was thinking this could just about be used as the frame in the frame or tags. But in fact, I see this tag and I think that would be perfect. And I'm also going to add some twine through that. So that's my thread or ribbon sorted as well. So I felt that photo wasn't quite straight, so I was just moving that about, and then I'll stick this tag down, and it says my favourite destination. So I do like that. So just tucking that under the picture of us. And you can see how well all these bits and pieces work together. So I've got probably an equal amount of Simple Stories and 49er Market on here. So don't be afraid to mix and match your collections. They work really nicely. So that piece that I've added at the top again is from the ephemera pack. In fact, I think all of these bits are from the ephemera pack, and it says Anywhere With You. And then I found this lovely tan coloured label that I cut in half to save the other half, and I'm just going to tuck in there. And then this little frame, I do like adding bits of frames just to add some interest about the page. So again, just cutting that in half so I've got the other half for another layout, and tucking that in down there. And it creates nice layers to the side of the photo, and they're all staggered. So differing layers to create interest. So just sticking that label down, and it's not for anything. I'm not going to add anything to that. It's just another layer behind the photo. So keeping going through, and I find a tab, so of course I've got to put that at the top so that I can add my date. If you've watched me before, you'll know that that's what I always seem to do, use a tab, either punch using my UK Success Punch, or if they're in a collection, then I'll use that. Now here's another of the this or that. It was flares or buttons, so of course I had to use a flare from Hey Little Magpie. That's one of our 1 1/4 inch flare. Unfortunately, it's not one you can buy. It was in our advent calendar, so sorry about that, but there are plenty available to choose from in the shop. Another little word phrase that says my heart is happy, so that's just another layer to add to the bottom there. I love all these wordy bits that come in the ephemera packs from 49er Market. There's so much to choose from. And then I knew I had to add a heart because it was hearts or stars, so there was just that little blue heart that I've added into that circle there. I do move it up a tad because I find a little label that says Travelogue, and I think that'll work nicely as a layer there. Notice that I'd knocked the flare, so just adding that back in. I don't know at which point I did that. And then using my wax twine to add to that label, that tag there. And I'm actually going to bring it right the way across the page and stick it the other side. But while I was doing that, I noticed this little sticker on the Here and There sticker sheet that says good for one amazing vacation, and I think that'll work really nicely. So just finding somewhere to tuck that in, and then I can attach this twine to the back of the page. So just using some tape, washi tape, anything that you've got to hand would work. So now coming in with my journaling, because I do like to journal on all my pages. And I've just put Manchester Airport wasn't too busy, Flying Virgin, we paid for seats together, and I'm so relieved we did. The flight was full. Everything on time, not long to wait. So now adding the roller date stamp at the top, just so that I've got the date on the page. And then I spot these little JD 3D wood pieces, the, oh gosh, what are they called? Geotag, the heart geotag. So using the heart as well as the geotag there. So that's a few more hearts on my page as well to complete that challenge. And then a few more stickers at the top here just to build up those layers. And I'm going to use some glue to make sure that they stay in place. One says By Air and one says Adventure Awaits. And that's the layout done. Please do check out Hey Little Magpie Chat and Inspiration. I'll leave the link down below. Thank you so much, Sheena, for a fabulous first challenge. And I'll be back again one day with the next one. Thanks again. Bye.